Students, today we will continue our class with new topic named as finite and non-finite verbs. Before going in this topic, we will talk about what is verb. The words which shows actions are called verb. In this, we talk about its two kinds, that is finite and non-finite verb. That is its definitions. Finite verbs are those verbs which are bounded by tense and agrees to the number and person of the subject, while non-finite verbs are those verbs which are not bounded or limited to the number and person of the subject. Now we continue this topic through your book. First of all, we talk about finite verbs. A finite verb is bound by tense and must agree with the number and the person of its subject. Finite verbs are those verbs which are used according to tense and agrees to the number. Number means singular and plural, and the person means first person, second person and third person of its subject. Now see the example. Rani has a bicycle. Here in this sentence, has singular verb, third person, present tense. According to this, has is used here, and Rani is singular noun and third person. Now we talk about non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs. Non-finite verb is not bound by or limited to the number and the person of the subject. Non-finite verbs are those verbs which are not bounded by tense or limited to the number and the person of the subject. These verbs do not have tense. These verbs have no tense. They remain unaffected and unchanged by the change in tense. When there is any change in tense, it does not affect such type of verbs. Without a finite verb, a sentence cannot make complete sense. If we did not use a finite verb, then the sentence remains meaningless. So the use of finite verb is necessary. But a non-finite verb is generally an extension of a sentence. It is simply an extension and can be left out. If we don't use non-finite verb in a sentence, doesn't matter. The meaning of the sentence does not go. The sentence will still be complete. Then also the sentence is complete. That means have senses there. Example, we can try. We can try writing to him. This is simply writing to him is a extension. If we remove, then also the sentence has a meaning. The first sentence is complete even without the extension. In the first sentence there is no extension, any extra thing is there, that means non-finite verb, then also the sentence is complete in itself. Now some sentences are written here. She likes reading. We like reading. She likes to read. We like to read. Now see the explanation of these sentences. In these sentences, the form of verb reading does not change the plural and first person we. It means in the first sentences, if we see, there is no change in verb reading while using with plural and first person we. Nor does to read change for we. In the similar case, in second sentence also, to read also not change according to we, plural we. These verbs are non-finite verb. So these verbs are non-finite verb. The subject and the finite verb are interdependent. That means subject and finite verb are dependent on each other. The non-finite verb has no such relationship with the subject. In the case of non-finite verb, there is no such type of relation with subject as finite or subject has. There are three kinds of non-finite verbs. Now we study about the three kinds of non-finite verbs. First is infinitive, that is formed by adding 2 before the first form of the verb. That means 2 plus first form of verb. That means example is there: to work, to play. Next, gerund. It is formed by adding ing in the first form of verb. Example: working, playing. Next type is participle. It is also formed by adding ing in the root word. It means the first form of the verb. Example: working, playing. Now we study in detail about infinitive. The infinitive will always start with the word to and followed by a simple verb. In infinitive, always start with to. Then we use the first form of the verb. Example, we see I want to work hard. First to is coming, then first form of the verb is coming here. That is work. Here now see the expression here. Here the words work, succeed, sing and become are infinite verbs. They can be used as nouns, adverbs and adjectives. Now we talk about bare infinitive. This means now we see the infinitive without using to. In place of to, we use modals. How? Just see here. It is used as an infinitive without the preposition to. Sometimes verbs comes after words like can, may, shall, will, must, see, make, feel, watch, notice. Such type of words there. After that, when we use the first form of the verb, then also they are infinitive. If you notice, each sentence is an answer to the question part. If we question the sentence by using the word what, the answer will be infinitive. Example, she can work hard. Now we see some more usage of an infinitive. It is used to join sentences. Infinitive are used to join two sentences into one. She went to the library. She wanted to borrow books. She went to the library school to borrow books. Next, it can be used in place of so that. We can also use infinitive in place of so that also. So let me see the example. I am so tired that I cannot walk. I am too tired to walk. In this manner, we use infinitive in place of so that. Now we talk about participle. The verb that is used as an adjective is called participle. The verbs which are used as adjective, then they are called as participle. Example, German shepherds are hunting dogs. Here hunting, though a verb, it is verb, describes the word dogs. So hunting is act as an adjective here. So huntings are, and this hunting word is participle here in the sentence. Participle have three forms: present participle, past participle, perfect participle. Present participle, first we talk. Present participle is formed by adding ing to the root word. We simply add ing in the first form of the verb and first present participle formed. It is generally used to join an introductory statement to the main statement. It is generally used with introductory statement to join to the main statement. Example, reading the book, he fell asleep. Next, past participle. Past participle is mostly formed by adding ed, en to the main verb. We just simply add ed and en in the main verb and past participle is formed. Example, amused by the joke. He laughed. Amused here is past participle. Now we talk about the perfect participle. Perfect participle is formed by adding past participle to verb to having. We just simply use having word before past participle and it become a perfect participle. How? See the example. Having done my work, I played. Having word is used before done and done is the past participle, so it become a perfect participle. Now we talk about the gerund. A verb that is used as a noun is called a gerund. When we use verb as a noun, in participle what we are doing? We are using the verb as an adjective, but in gerund we are using as a noun, so it become gerund. Why I told? Because in participle and gerund we see that we are simply adding ing in the first form of the verb. They look similar, but according to use they become different. When we use verb as an adjective, then it is participle. When we use as a noun, it is gerund. Gerund can be subject or object. The use of gerund can be a subject or object also. Gerund is formed by adding ing to the root form of the verb. When we add ing to the first form of the verb, it becomes gerund. See the example. Walking is good for health. Here gerund is act as a subject. Children enjoy dancing. Here dancing, that means gerund is act as a object. With this, I stop my class here itself and will continue with new topic in next class. Thank you. Have a nice day.